and welcome to Ohio Gaming Alliance McGregor's Dungeon. I'm your host, Joe McGregor. Tonight I have with me Angela Way, otherwise known as Aether, and we also have my buddy Alonzo, who is known as Raven Stout Oak. Tonight we're just going to take a little bit of time to discuss where we've come as a group and where we've come as a game and a story when it comes to Agrosia. We had planned on playing tonight and making the return to Agrosia from the Icewind Dale area. However, what we ran into was that there were several folks who had been surprised by family, etc., and they could not join us this evening. Zoom parties, what have you, whatever it is they're doing. Uh, we just weren't able to pull everybody together for tonight. And that's okay. Family first and real life first. That's one of our golden rules here at OGA. So, with respect to that, we've pulled a couple of our members together tonight just to have a quick discussion about, again, where Agrosia's come from and where we're at now. So, give me just a second, Ange, making sure this is all coming through. Looks like we are good to go. Can you give me a quick sound test on your end? On point. Yep. Now you should be fine.
Hello.
There we go. Perfect. Okay. So, uh, one thing I want to start out with. We've started this campaign, oh, geesh. Last September 2019? Does that sound about right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And so when we started this game, it was one, two, three, four, about five of us around the table. So when we started, we had quite a mixture of different characters, different fun, different styles of play. Uh, when we started, you started by being hired out by Acquisitions Inc. Now, since then, you've split a little bit more ties with them and alienated that franchise a bit more over time. Now, what would you say, as far as your own franchise is concerned, the Misled Moguls? What would you say that you have done as a company and as a group from the time that you were hired to where you're at now? How do you feel about the growth of the group itself? Do you feel like it's grown rather quickly? Do you feel how do you feel about well, for that matter, having two more teams in the mix? Thoughts?
Mm, we don't have too much interaction with other teams,
Yeah.
other than like a drop-in character here and there. So that's not too much to deal with. But like, it'd be interesting to see some more crossover. Like, the GM purposely made something way too difficult. One team went in and failed, and then the fresh team comes in and finishes out, a dungeon or something strange like that.
Yeah, we can.
Or,
Mhm.
or it takes some work on your part, Joe. But like two teams enter in the same dungeon, and of course there'd be two different gaming sessions, but like trying to immerse the mix where they meet in the middle of the dungeon and they're actually about to start fighting each other, something like that.
Well, and here is something that I've actually explored is the idea of running a multi-level dungeon with two troops of characters in there, two parties, if you will. I've actually considered that in the past. That's something that I will be playing with in the future. So you will get to see Phoenix franchise and Misled Moguls mix it up in 2021. That's for sure.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Awesome, awesome. Now we have a Team C that's gonna be kicking off here before long too. I'm still organizing that a little bit, but with respect to that, we're really trying to keep kind of a an audience together for Misled Moguls and an audience together for Phoenix franchise. So, and I think that if you're the type that's looking for a little comedy, a little bit of fun, but some seriousness mixed in there too, Misled Moguls does a really good job of balancing those two things, right? Now we don't have any of the Phoenix franchise in here tonight, but they're your rough and tumble, get the job done, kind of go to the extreme type deal. You got the Tarek Iron Mains and the
Rest of the second fiddles.
what's that?
Rest of the second fiddles.
Rest of the second fiddles. But you've also got Runewind in there, who's running that group now, who's a pretty staunch leader as far as making sure that people are staying on point, on task. I think coupled together, that group's going to do just fine as far as a streaming audience is concerned, as far as a character base is concerned. But again, Misled Moguls was kind of the baby, if you will. It's where we all started out as far as sitting around the table and putting together our company and our first show. And with that being said, let's talk just a little bit about the characters and how you folks fit together. So over the last year in our playing, we've run into some real difficult situations, different kind of challenges as far as Darius is concerned, as far as Max, Alundra, as far as Icewind Dales. How would you say that you guys have grown as a team? Who would you say has come together, and who would you say is a little bit behind?
I think we all act off of each other most of the time, so saying we've really basically just kept growing from where we started.
Okay, and so with that being said too then, with respect to the characters themselves and building and kind of moving along and what have you, what would you say is some of your favorite interaction or interactions between the characters that you've seen so far? You could also maybe even mention what some of your favorite instances has been within the campaign itself. So you're Aether, you're the big female blue dragonborn who kind of keeps everybody in line a bit, but has had some recent mischief yourself, right? So what would you say has been some of your favorite happenstances in the world of Agrosia so far? Well, in the continent of Agrosia, I should say.
Well, mostly I think the favorite is keeping the name drop of who her mother really was my favorite, because even you hadn't even gotten to that character's background until like 5 minutes before it dropped.
Well, and that's the thing is that Lady Khazar and Mordred and all that played in very nicely to kind of throw the whole team aside and throw them off. I think that the addition of your mother to the game adds that third element for the Varashian Empire, that kind of that ex machina almost, that third out, if you will, right? So it doesn't have to be the West, doesn't have to be the East. It could be this third group, all right, ascertaining some kind of control or power. But again, that's to be seen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Stout Oak, Alonzo, you play Raven Stout Oak. He is the head medic of the team, the head doc, if you will, the cleric. What would you say has been some of your favorite happenstances in the world of Agrosia so far?
I really like seeing Merrick level up and start kicking some serious ass in his fights.
Yeah, Merrick is a fun character to watch because the guy that plays Merrick, Gavin, this is his first real run with RPGs. So he's really kind of built the characters that he has built from the ground up, really from no experience at all. So it's been a lot of fun to watch him play even a complex class like the monk to start off with, and just kind of build from there. I've noticed that as a player, he's been getting a lot more vocal too.
Yep.
It has been interesting that he started out as a viewer and now he's a player. So
Right, we've had that happen quite a few times. We've started out with just players coming along, or excuse me, viewers coming along, and then becoming players over time. So I mean, we've seen these things as well happen, within our group, within our gatherings as well. Very good stuff. Let's see what else? What else? Okay, so as far as the story is concerned, how do you feel about the story so far? So you started off being hired by the by Acquisitions Inc. To compete. You were Owen Drums folks, and then you had Jim Dark Magic's team, and you guys were kind of going at each other. They had a bet going to see whose team could get these 6 swords, right? That would open
oh,
the
those
gates to
losers.
the east and start the and start the whole war again, right? They had good intentions, but perhaps the betting was not the best thing to do. Uh, but as far
Jim
as
Dark Magic chose the losing side.
he did, didn't he? And you even grabbed up Nikolai, who was part of the team prior to, which was kind of nice. Which was kind of nice because Nikolai is
Runewood.
and Runewin, Nikolai and Runewin were both picked up in that instance. You're right. And with respect to that, those two have actually become valuable members in Phoenix franchise because of that. So, um, but just the same, we also have our team leader Zell, right, who's come about and started to kind of build as a character, and but he's very mysterious. Somebody that is definitely somebody to be looked at. But as far as the story goes, with all these characters, how do you feel? How do you feel that it's progressed? Do you feel like we've moved too quickly? Is it just the right amount of speed? We took a whole year to get to level 8.
And I think parts of it have gone quick, parts of it have gone slow. So I think it balances all out. Like,
Good.
I certainly didn't think we'd have the airship so quickly, but that was kind of needed for the next arc of the story.
It is, and what's going to come of that again is that, and as you know, the Verashians hold true their ability to raise wyvern, and their ability to raise wyvern is great, so great that yes, there is an Imperial Air Force designed and motivated and built around the wyvern, right? For the Verashians. Now, on the side of the Western Agrosian nations, you have airships, you have your elves that have magical beasts that they can summon, etc. But you're kind of at a stalemate in the air. So really, you needed it for the arc of the story, but when it gets into the actual war part of it, the airship's going to be one of those things that, again, you'll be caught in more of a stalemate.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Sorry, just picturing Cocker saying your mama jokes and Draconian to Wyvern.
Yeah, yes, Kakra is probably going to get her fill of Yo Mama jokes in the coming war front. That is true. Um,
Shouting
that,
from the airship at the Wyverns themselves. Yeah.
well, and it's interesting because I would like to, and I'm going to try to get Phoenix franchise together one more time before we get the Misled Moguls together on the 8th of January. I'm going to see if I can get Phoenix franchise together for one session before the 8th. Just to get them caught up with you guys, and we can have everybody on the same page. Because they're one session behind that I need to get them caught up on. And with respect to that, that's fine. We can do that. That's going to be easy to do. I can still play with time a bit, play with the chronosphere, so to speak. So. Uh, but just the same, so we feel like the story's moving along quick enough. What about the storyline? Do you feel like the Six Swords is a kind of a good way to go with things? The whole, how do you feel about the swords? Has it been a bitch to gather them? What do you think about that story arc?
I've always disliked them because they're all, you have to use them or you get a penalty to use other weapons.
Yeah, that's true. There is some penalty to not utilizing the weapons themselves. However, uh, they they have been helpful as far as turning them in as keys. Well, there hasn't been a whole lot discussed about what goes on after the fact, right? So um, that again, more to come on that end for folks to find out. But another thing, I mean, Raven doesn't really use, right? Raven doesn't really use swords. So even if he would have gotten a hold of the Six Swords, there wouldn't have been any real use for him to have one.
Yeah, I don't know. Most of my time is spent healing. I get a couple attacks in before I have to start healing.
Well, and I will say that as far as a healer is concerned, you do an exceptional job. You've kept the party alive in some instances where I could have off them had you not been healing. So I mean that's a good dynamic to have. And it sounds like you're starting to figure out how these characters interact and how they work. And I've always found that that's been one of the hardest jobs of the cleric is to see how the team operates because once you figure out how they operate, you know who you're going to need to heal first, right?
Or once you figure out how they operate, Stelios.
Stelios for sure. Yes, I'm not sure where he's at this evening. If he was going to jump in, I thought he said he might, but I wasn't sure. Stelios has definitely got an interesting background as far as a character is concerned, and I think it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out in the coming war as well, because I've got stuff for him. Um, Now, I will say that this coming year, we're going to be opening up the world of Guardia as well. The war is just the start. The epic level stuff starts after the Warfront begins. And so the epic level stuff will have you going all over the world of Guardia. Because I've decided I'm going to take the Agrosia Misled Moguls campaign to level 20. So I will go ahead and take it to the epic levels at some point, and you will be fighting dragons, fighting whatever those epic level things might be. Um, Now another thing that we talked about with Agrosia is um, writing more modules and developing more story for it. So we're going to kind of see how things are developing along there, and you may see more advertising and marketing for that, but. Now, as far as the magic items, would you say that I've been stingy with distribution, or would you say that I've been more than fair? What could we add anything to? Is there anything you feel that might be missing?
Stingy with inspiration.
I agree with that too.
Oh, fine. I'll work on the inspiration.
I'd say, like, real low level magic items are fun to throw in.
Okay. So maybe do some plus
Not
one.
with the money, but stuff that's semi useless, but would be fun to play around with.
Okay.
Here you have a magical joy buzzer.
Occasional wand of whatever. Little things that can add quirks or
Yeah.
enhance characters.
Okay. Definitely. Yeah. That's something we can do. And that. So 2021, we'll look at more fun little dealies to throw at the characters and let them interact in that fashion.
Maybe you could involve the audience by like putting up polls of what out of these three magical items, what would you like to see potentially given out in a future episode?
Well, let's do that because I know that as a creator, especially a content creator, I'm working on developing some writings for Agrosia because I know we've discussed the possibility about crowdfunding it at some point. Um, but with respect to that, I'm also working on magical items and spells that could exist and belong solely in the world of Agrosia.
Nice.
So that could be something we do too. In some of the blogs, we post up lists of these magical items, things that folks can use in their campaigns in Agrosia, because I know that folks are going to want to play in this world as we continue to move on and talk more about it and develop together. Because what I'd like to do is I'd like to not only crowdsource it, but I'd also or crowdfund it. I'd also like to crowdsource it, get ideas on what people think as far as these spells, magic items, things of that nature go. So maybe we can even do some polls. What kinds of spells would you like to see in the world too, right? As opposed to just the magical items.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I know that we're going to be mixing some other creative content in as well. K-Wood Publishers have recently given us a couple of items to look at of theirs. We're going to be doing some advertising as far as the blog's concerned, putting their stuff up, talking a little bit about some of the items they've created, which, by the way, good reviews coming for those, so just stay tuned. And I think that one of the things that I'd like to do is talk to more content creators and involve their items in our worlds as well, with their permission, of course. Um, but just kind of, integrate and build from there, So, what kind of things can I improve on as a GM? How do you feel as though we've got a good thing going? Do you feel as though I need to give maybe a little bit more time for breaks? Anything that I can improve there, or are we running pretty strong?
I think you're a great GM. I think maybe a more structured, you know, at 10 o'clock we're taking our break, and that's a hard, unless we're in the middle of some, a real intense scene or something, strict to that just for like viewing schedule.
Sounds good. And the 15 minutes is good, right? That's a good break time for everybody to kind of get in, get involved.
Yeah, I think that's fine for me to do whatever I need to do.
Okay, perfect. So, sounds like we've got a pretty successful game running so far. Really, what we need is to just develop more content, keep moving forward from the sound of things, right?
Yeah, and like as we've gone over to more electronic content, gaming, like the methods that have been used to speed up gameplay have been pretty nice.
Oh, the Roll20's nice, yeah.
Yeah, the Roll20, putting stuff in the chat there, the integration between the various softwares we're using, all that.
Yeah, definitely thank you, ArkenForge, Roll20, Zoom, all of you folks, Hero Forge, you've helped us out greatly. We just got in contact with Gale Force 9. They are a wargaming company and board game company. They actually gave us a World of Tanks miniatures game that we're going to be raffling as part of the Charity Month raffle for St. Jude's Children's Hospital and the Able Gamers Charity. So stay tuned, folks. General admission tickets will get you entry to win this awesome box set. So good stuff there, right? And that's great. It's great that we're able to work with all these different companies and kind of put this stuff together. We're going to be working with D&D off and on when we can to produce some nice things. D&D put a lot of their items up for sale for businesses to grab up this year for giveaways and charity events and things of that nature. So kudos to D&D. We'll be having some essential box sets being given out for the 2nd and 3rd of January during our raffles. We have a Dune board game set that's going to be part of the monthly raffle for charity in January. This is a really awesome looking game, and if you win it and would love to invite me after the pandemic's over to play it, I would love you to death. I'll bring the root beer. That's my new thing, root beer. And then they also gave us the Star Trek Ascendancy, which I have not. This is the only one. I can't seem to get it to pop like I like. This is the only one I haven't got to play around with yet, as far as reading the back of the box and kind of looking at things, because they're all still sealed. I just haven't got to look at it and read anything on it yet. But it looks like it's going to be pretty rocking just from the setup. Looks like it's got a lot of options, a lot of different features. It looks to me like you're literally going where no man has gone before as far as galaxies are concerned, and pretty excited about that as well. We also have D&D starter sets, and if you win a D&D starter set but you're already an experienced gamer, you can even let us know that you'd like it to send it to one of the hospitals for charity, or you could tell us to send it to a friend if you know a friend that could use a copy. We're always happy to do that. For the event on the 2nd and 3rd, the grand prize is going to be a Catan board game set. So that'll be given away at the end of the day. And here's the glorious part about that. You do not actually have to be at the event. If we call your name, we are going to take that ticket that we called, we are going to attach it to that prize, and that is going to be sent out on the next business day that we can send it out. The next available business day to send it. Alright? So, take a look. It's good. A good setup for charity. We're trying to get everybody involved that we can. Again, this is a charitable event. We are taking proceeds from it to go to the charitable contributions. Then we are also going to be taking memberships that day as well, and those memberships are free to sign up on our website, and that'll get you access to our gaming content, newsletters, blogs. We'll also get you content as far as letting you know when we're going to be running games. So stay tuned, folks. We do have a newsletter going out tomorrow, so if you haven't got to the website and signed up yet, now's the time. That newsletter will be running through the end of December into the first Tuesday of January. So that's when we'll be releasing every new newsletter is every first Tuesday of the month. So, if there's anything question-wise we can help out with, it's Ohio Gaming Alliance at gmail.com. That's OHIOGAMING okay, at gmail.com. Alright, hit us up. Feel free to also give us a call. We have a phone line as well. We can take calls for questions. So just let us know what we need to be doing, and we will be more than happy to help you with anything that we can. Now, as far as the website's concerned, once you go to our actual website, the home screen is going to show you one of our marketing manager, Angela Way. It's actually going to show one of our nice, oops, I thought it would show up on the screen here. Just a second. Looks to be a little finicky sometimes. Okay, there we go. Done. Alright. Now, the website itself is going to come up with this nice little dealie here, our nice little lady telling you we got cool stuff going on. You can click here to enter our events page. Once you enter our events page, you'll be able to scroll down. You'll be able to look at all the upcoming events on the 2nd. Alright, you'll be able to RSVP, sign up for tickets. Tickets are $5 for general admission. The other tickets are $5.13. There's a small fee on the actual event tickets. The OGA open raffle events are $5 even. So sign up. We've got lots of cool games going on. We've got Dungeons & Dragons versus Rick and Morty, NCR Chronicles. Push into Idaho is actually a game that's been built and designed by myself. And we have members and staff that play in that game. So we've got 2 open slots in that game for the late night game session. We'd love to have you. just feel free to sign up. Who knows? Maybe you could become a regular on that game and get awards and prizes for being a regular on our show. Now, you can see our calendar down here. It's got the second lit up. You can also see the Tales of Agrosia first night for Friday night on the 8th. Okay, 8:30 p.m. Tales of Agrosia. We have to switch to Friday nights for scheduling purposes. That means, if I'm not mistaken, our first Avernus night will be on the 9th. So, okay, folks, we're going to be rendering this video down and putting up another version of it here soon. We're also going to be doing a broadcast tomorrow evening, just going over some of the things that we're going to be giving away and talking a little bit more in depth about our charities and just going over some details. And we'll answer questions live tomorrow night as well. So feel free to gear up with some good questions and let us know what you got going on. Other than that, I would like to thank everybody who did come out tonight for watching. I want to thank as well everybody for just being a member, either somebody that watches or somebody that plays with us. It means a lot. We've worked really hard getting this company started. We'd like to continue playing games for you and with you. More with you, I think, than for you. So definitely feel free to get involved, join up with us. Let us know what kinds of games you'd like to see in the future, because we can do everything from fantasy to superhero. So, and we're happy to do it. So let us know. We've got new GMs coming out and running games. We've got GM School starting up in February. So we'll have a list of videos up and published that you can go and watch on YouTube as part of your membership. So yeah, really take a look at our subscriptions and gear up, because we're going to be doing some tweaks and some fudging with the subscription packages for January. So stay tuned, stay ready, and happy gaming, everybody. Thanks for coming out. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.